let's shift out to a little sports media talk. Okay, give me your thoughts on the Shannon Sharpe scandal. Glasses off. Here we go.
When I first read the story that came out, I have a thing I do where I wait a little bit and wait for more information. I don't jump the gun. I wait a couple of days to let it flush out because sometimes things are put out there and then pulled back. It's no information, so I wanted to give it a couple of days. Days went by, and so there's things for me that are so egregious, so out of this world, so crazy for a 56-year-old man to be dealing with. I had to pause. I had cause to pause. I was just, it's like, what am I reading? First and foremost, 19 years old, 54. There's this confusion where it's like, if it's legal, it's okay. Where there are things called morals, ethics, and values. MEV, morals, ethics, and values. Okay. And I know some of you that are watching don't subscribe to that. Fine, no problem. No morals, ethics, and values for you. You have Bill Belichick, who's 77, messing with a 20-something-year-old. Whether you want to say morals, ethics, and values with that, I don't know. First egregious problem is the gauge gap. Second problem is you not having an NDA anywhere. Anywhere. Third problem, your lawyer. Your lawyer said you were in conversations about a settlement? You don't, and in certain situations you do settle because of XYZ. So many different variables that you may settle. It's a long, don't want to drag this on. I get that concept. And this is after Shannon Sharpe's statement, video statement. This is a shakedown by Tony Busby. Then you mentioned Jay-Z. The Jay-Z story was buffoonery because everyone knew Jay-Z likes women, not babies. However, you, Shannon, you have clips of your guests coming on your show telling you, Shannon, leave them young snow bunnies alone. Mm-hmm. Guests telling you to your face. You have Cat Williams on there mentioning something about Jonathan Majors and saying things that could have been literally directed right towards you, Shannon. Your grandmother tells you all these things. My grandmother told me, well, if it don't walk, it got no legs. Your grandmother tells you all these things, yet she didn't tell you to watch out for the 19-year-old who could possibly be lining you up? Huh? And then you think it's okay to say, y'all just releasing half of the video or the text messages or the audio. Release it all. No. I told my wife. I said, let me tell you something. You play Uno?
Yeah, I do.
Familiar with the game, right? Cool. Yeah. A lot of people play Uno. Love the game.
We own it. We own it here in the house. Yeah.
Love to play when I can. Right? Okay. Let me tell you something. Tony Busby had draw fours, reverses, skips. Why are you even playing games with a hand like that? When you're coming out and saying, oh, it's an OnlyFans girl. You were still fucking with her, weren't you? Why does it matter now that she's OnlyFans? Yeah. Why does it matter that she's OnlyFans girl now? Why does that? Are you trying to embarrass her? You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed.
Yeah, that's the worst things. Yeah, 56. Yeah.
My wife, me and my wife having a conversation. I said, are there 30, 40-year-old OnlyFans girls? I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure on this earth. Millions of people? I'm sure they're 30, 40, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-olds OnlyFans. Why do you want the 19-year-old, Shannon? Control, sexual control. And then you realize, backing up, for those who don't know, do your research on the Kobe Bryant Denver situation. Mm-hmm. If you do your research, I was early in the game when this actually happened. I was defending Kobe hard. I said, shake down. This can't happen. She's going for money. Why would Kobe even? Kobe's married. I'm throwing everything out in the sun. And my man, shout out to Nelson Best. My man came to me and said, yo, I saved this article for you. Read it. I said, oh, no doubt. He said, what? I said, what's somebody said? Read it. It's about Kobe Bryant and what he said to the detectives when they first got there. And I read the article, and I went back to Nelson Best, and I told him, I said, I am sorry. I've changed my stance. He's in trouble. Guys, and this is just directed to guys only, okay? Mm-hmm. This is directed to guys only. I'm of an age where I can talk to my, I'm uncle level, right? I'm uncle level. I can talk to my young boys, right? Okay, let me talk to you guys. 30, 20 years old, okay? You have to be very careful about how you're moving around in these streets with these women. You have to be very careful. Okay, consent is important. Consent is very important. And let me tell you something. Give you an example of why consent is very important. I'll keep it clean and PC. If I say you can wear this hat, you wear the hat, cool, I gave you consent. It's about clothing, right? If I say you can wear this hat, we're talking about just clothes. If I say you can wear this hat, that's consent. But if you take this hat and then try to take my jacket too, I didn't give you consent for my jacket.
Only for the hat.
I give you consent for my hat. Take my hat, you're good. Now you want to be I need the jacket to go with the hat. No, you don't. I didn't give you consent for that. You decide to take my jacket. Guess what? That's a crime. That's a crime. Mm-hmm. So in this instance, the young lady had a crime committed against her by Shannon Sharpe. By the technical definition, if you're getting technical, read between the lines is what I'm trying to say.
Let me ask you, what is the actual accusation that's criminal though in this? Obviously, there's a moral part of this. Obviously, he's 56, she's 19. It is legal for the record, but it's still creepy. We also agree with that too also. But she says it was sexual assault?
Grape.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant, grape. 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 Kobe Bryant settled. He took it. They went all the way to court and it didn't finalize. He settled. Kobe was told not to do something. He did it anyway. Shannon Sharpe was not giving consent to do what he did. He did it anyway. And I keep telling people, you know what's interesting? In 7 days a week, if a young lady decides to give me consent for 6 days, on the 7th day, if I go back and she says no, and I take it, guess what that is? EJ? Mm-hmm. Grape.
I am so grateful. And look, I'm not famous or anything like that, but I, as a man in my mid-40s, I am so grateful I am in a great marriage, a woman I love, I still love. We're 20 years, we're almost 20 years together. We've been married 14 years, and I am so happy in that, brother.
15,
there is
15
so much. There we go, brother. Congrats. I'm as grateful. We both should be grateful that we're in situations that we are stable and not have to worry about all that kind of shit. I have no interest in being out there, and because even if my intentions are well and good, the world's crazy, man. The world's crazy.
The world works just like people are surprised. Listen, the world is not any different than high school.
Right.
I keep telling people over and over and over again, just think back to high school. The rules are the same regardless. Back in high school, I'm sitting back looking at hip hop videos because when we're talking about programming and talking about these guys that are programmed to think that, oh, if she says yes 5 days out of the week, that sixth day, if she happens to tell me no, I can still take it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have all these videos, all these, music, all these rap songs where it's telling you this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting back saying, because I have MEV,
Mm-hmm.
morals, ethics, and values, I'm questioning things like, well, that doesn't seem like it's right.
But I'm going to steal that from you now. MEV. I'm going to put it right here next to me. MEV. Just to have it sitting right there for myself to remind me morals, ethics, and values always.
Morals, ethics, and values. And Shannon, let's say you don't go back to ESPN. Let's say that ship sails. Okay, cool. Even if you stay, we know what it is. You were too big to fail. Fine, no problem. Shout out to Michael Irvin. Shout out to Paul Pierce. They got let go for less because they weren't too big to fail. Shannon maybe. Having stated all that, this is going to disappear. This will disappear. It's a matter of
You think
when.
so? You think it will?
It's going to disappear. It's a matter of when. It's a matter of when. You're not going to hear from her because if she gets a payout, she's not going to talk about it anymore because she's going to sign an NDA.
She already turned down $10 million payout settlement. She said no, and so
whatever the settlement is, yeah. For me, if you want to give me 10 and I know I'm worth 25, yeah, give me 30.
Well, we should say 25K for each cheek.
Jesus. Again, let's
I'm
let's
sorry,
put
man.
aside the fact bro, let's put aside the fact that Big Black Baby. I'm reading the text messages.
Did he told her that?
She texted him.
Him, right.
Mind you, I'm reading the text messages. I want you to put a big black baby in me. That's in January. I said, okay. Now, mind you, that's the first, my bell started going off. Just flying. I'm like, maybe that's their thing because it's text messages. Okay. Maybe that's their thing. Please, I hope she didn't say it again. Please. 6 months later, she says it again. I said, okay. If that doesn't bother him, that says more about him than her.
Right.
So to land the plane, I said, if you're a guest, you still gonna go to Shannon Sharpe's show knowing that he settled with the woman that he was taken advantage of? You still gonna where is Shannon's integrity going to be? Is it not in the trash? Why should I pay attention to anything else he says when he has no integrity? He cannot hang his integrity hanger on anything.
So you don't think it's a shakedown? You think maybe it's a little bit of both?
To me, it can't be a shakedown if you offer the money. A shakedown is someone thinks they have, for me anyway, someone thinks they have something on you and they're like, well, if you don't, someone thinks, shakedown, thinks they have something on you. And they're like, well, Shannon, I have something on you. If you don't, and it's like, what do you have? You have Jay-Z? Perfect example of a shakedown. Tony Busby hears about Puffy and a girl. All of a sudden goes Puffy the girl and then Jay-Z. Then he sends information to Jay-Z saying, hey, by the way, we got this girl saying that you did this with her. So if you want to send us 25 million, the next day, Jay-Z said, big bro, this is a lie. You cost me money and I'm coming for your head. It wasn't the fact that, this is a shakedown. Yes, it was. I'm acknowledging three things.
It makes it worse when, like, in Shannon's case, that there was actual, a relationship, quote unquote, there on top of that too. Also, you know what I'm saying? So there's definitely something there. How much there? At the end of the day, for me, is more. To me, the end of the day is this: as creepy as that whole thing was, the age gap of that, and I agree with 100% on that. Was there anything done illegally? In other words, was there a criminal act done here? So I'm trying to keep the basic. If he raped her, obviously, massive problem, should be in jail the whole nine. But if this was consensual and it's proven to be consensual, I can live with that, because at the end of the day, I mean, he's obviously a freak, but it's in the realms of legalities, and I'll leave it at that.
You for 6 days out of the 7, you got consent. The 7th day you did not.
Right.
Is that consent?
No. So, and that's the thing. If that, yeah.
You can't. I'm just, as a hypothetical.
Absolutely. Without question.
This is when I take you back to one of my call center days. Okay, I'm in the call center working. I walk. I have a bunch of guys I know, girls there, all of that. Right. So we're there. I'm sitting down. My man walks by, and I quote, walks by a girl. He goes, "Yeah, those are some." What did he say? He said, "Those are some nice milk duds." I said, "What?" I grabbed him up. I said, "Yo, Papa, you can't say that. You can't say that." He said, "Sexual harassment. You can't say that. She can go to HR and get you fired." He's like, "No, she won't." I said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm cute." I said, "Good. Let me take that further. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, milk dud. No response whatsoever. She's laughing, giggling. She's giggling. Friday, she goes to HR. "What's your defense?" I call her milk dud every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What's wrong with Friday? That's your defense? You're going to be let go.
That's right. 100%.
You're going to be let go.
It's great.
You're going to be let go. Jay-Z didn't have a relationship with this girl. You had a relationship with this girl, Shannon. So why are you even bringing up Jay-Z? You had a relationship with her.
He's trying to find cover. That's why.
That's my point. So if I'm Jay-Z, I'm like, shut the fuck up, please. Don't bring up my name. It's not even the same realm, like not even the same distance. Again, I checked off 3 things in my statement. I said it was a Jay-Z. I said it was a shakedown. I said it was a lie. And I said I'm coming. And I said I'm coming for your boy's neck. This is not going to be a stop, and I'm going to protect myself. No, I'm going on offense now. Shannon, you can't go on offense. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they have all the offensive pieces. They have all the text, the audio, the video. You can't go on offense. You're on defense. You will forever be on defense. You can't be Jay-Z. Stop it.
Yep. I agree.
So
I agree with you.
Shannon's going to be fine. He makes all his money from his shows on YouTube.
Yeah,
he's going to be fine.
He'll live up ESPN too.
Say again.
He doesn't need. Honestly, he doesn't really need ESPN. Honestly,
he does not need ESPN, so he'll be fine. The question will be: is what kind of integrity will he carry moving forward, where people will go on his show and just continue the show? Like, what kind of integrity do you have as a man? You're 50-something years old dating 19-year-olds. That's not by mistake. That's by design. Right. So you're asking these, it's by design. So literally, Monique literally telling you to your face, like, you need your old lady. You don't need these young girls. They're going to take advantage of you.
Right.
They're going to take advantage of you. Lo and behold,
Absolutely.
we're here.
Absolutely.